my newest episode of Lupine Fibercraft. I'm Mary Kiselke. You can follow me on Instagram at Lupine Fibercraft. I am not on Facebook, so Instagram's really the place to go. I'm on Facebook, but I never post anything. So if this is the first time that you've joined us, welcome. Thank you for checking us out. And if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. Really appreciate it. So I'm sitting on my front porch today. I have not done an episode for quite a while, and that is why. So the end of school, I think the last episode that I had, the end of school was coming, and so graduation has happened, and I had to say goodbye to some of my students, and so that was pretty hard, and I'm gonna miss them a lot. I think the thing that I'm thinking about the most is if, some of them thought they wanted to be chefs, and I hope that I made some sort of good impact on them. I hope they remember me, and I hope that they enjoyed their time, but also learned things. I always feel pretty inadequate. So I'm questioning just so much right now, of my success and what is success, and I don't know if I'm successful. I don't know if I've been successful in my life. I hope you can hear me. They're building some condos a block away, and it starts at 6:30 in the morning, and it's loud. But anyway, just kind of questioning so much right now. Yeah, definitely feeling a bit inadequate. But anyway, so I've spent a huge amount of time on my yard. Spring came pretty late to us here in Northwest Indiana, and so trying to get into the garden was challenging, especially since I was working during the day, trying to get in the garden after spending all day with the kids. I love the kids. It was just sometimes exhausting, just to be mentally on all the time. So I wasn't able to get into the garden, and then the weekend seemed rainy or cold or something. So even during spring break, I wasn't able to get out into the yard. So since school's been over, I've been pretty much exclusively in my yard. I had a lot of work to do as far as cleaning up a mess from last year, because I had a lot of work done on my house. And one entire side of my house, the foundation had to be dug out, so I had to replant that entire section, and I'm not done with that part yet. I found a patio, an old cement stone patio that I'll do some videos of, that was under about 6 inches of dirt, so I dug all that out, and so I have a lot of dirt. I had to regrade the entire side of that house. I haven't mulched it yet, but then I replanted the whole thing. One half of it, anyway, the other half is a total disaster. Weeds, I did have a couple plants that I really love make it, so, but it's starting to get overtaken by this wild mulberry tree. My neighbor has a mulberry, and I love the mulberry tree, it's great, but it sends out, the birds eat the seeds, or eat the berries, and then you have mulberries everywhere. I have mulberries all over my yard. New mulberry trees, I mean, so I'm cutting those out constantly. But the yard really took a beating last year with all the construction that was happening around my house. So this year has been difficult. And this new garden in the front, you can just see this behind me. This is actually just a small part of my new garden. I essentially ripped up half of my front yard. When I'm depressed, I give myself giant projects that are probably not a good idea. So a friend of mine had this pull behind tiller, so he brought his mower over and pulled the tiller behind, and I literally tore up really half of my front yard. I planted 3 trees last year. I transplanted some rhododendrons and a lot of hostas that I was able to save from the side of my house, and then planted just tons and tons of perennials. I don't really like to do annuals too much. I really like to plant perennials. They are easy, they come back, and as they grow you can split them, so then you can add them to other parts of your garden. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'll do a little video. It's really warm. I don't know if you can see, I'm starting to glisten. It's supposed to be about 96 today. So yeah, so I gave myself this giant project. I bought also this smoke bush, and I'm gonna definitely have to keep this thing trimmed, but I love it. I think it's really beautiful. I've always coveted them in other people's gardens. I was telling you about how hot it's gonna be. Okay, so it's supposed to be 96 today and tomorrow, and we had a rainstorm this morning, so it's pretty humid. I do not have air conditioning in my car, so driving around today it's gonna be hot. So the cat got out on the front porch. Gracie, she's back in the house now. She didn't want to be outside. It was too hot for her. But while she was on the front porch, my cat Simon saw her through the front window and tried to get out and broke one of my lamps. So the cats they're so sweet. So sweet. So why don't I show you what I've been doing since I've been working in the yard. I have not really been doing a whole heck of a lot of knitting. I'm going to start with some finished objects. I've been talking, I think I talked about these already. These are the fragment socks from the Lane Lane magazine, and I did them with Red Bicycle yarn in this beautiful purple. And I'm really happy with them. I've already worn them a lot. It's too hot to wear them now. But if you remember, I made them longer than the pattern called for, because I don't like how short, I don't like the shortness of the socks, so I always make my socks longer. And this pair of socks was the first one that I did with a size smaller of needles, and I'm really, really happy with them. They fit my feet really well. So very happy with my socks. I'm working on a sock pattern that I made up some time ago, and I really like it. I'm going to make another pair, and if it's a good pattern, I'll put it up, so we'll see. I also finished, I don't know if you remember, I did a Find Your Fade shawl with Madeline Tosh with a set that she put out. So my friend saw it and she really, really liked it. So this is for my friend Roxanne. She asked me to make her one because I had enough left over that I could make another whole shawl. So I did, and instead of doing Find Your Fade, I did Free Your Fade. And it has this beautiful eyelet pattern. And it's all the same colors. This gorgeous peat, that peat color, burnt orange, that gorgeous yellow, which is just going to look absolutely beautiful on Roxanne. That color is going to be great for her. That's called Lamplight. I don't remember what that color is called. And then I just had a tiny bit of this white color left over, so it is still a little bit asymmetrical. Oh, it's still hard to see it. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope that she likes it. I'm going to give it to her after today. It is too warm to wear right now. So that is another finished object. I don't know if I love the fade of those two colors together. That's the only fade in this I don't like. And I really like the reverse side a lot better. I think I said that with the last one too. I really like the fade of the reverse. So, but I think she's really going to like it. And I used soak to wash it, and it smells really good. I don't remember what flavor, what scent. Look, I'm already a mess. What flavor of soap, I said it again. What scent of soap I bought. I can't remember. Anyway. Okay, so that was my finished objects. That's it. Only 2 finished objects. The other thing that I'm working on, so I'm working on kind of a big project right now, but I'm really close to being done. And it is a sweater. It's an Isolde Teague sweater. So the sweater by Isolde Teague is called Hearthstone. And this is my version. It's this blue, I don't know if you remember that I dyed this gorgeous blue yarn that is yak and cashmere. Merino yak, no, I'm sorry. It's yak, silk, and merino. And I'm very pleased with how it's going so far. Very pleased indeed. I'm loving this color, you guys. I cannot wait to wear it. It's so hot though. I'm not going to wear it for a long time. So I'm currently doing the yoke decreases, which is this beautiful pattern. And I added some short rows. I did do some waist shaping. It gives you the option of doing no waist shaping or waist shaping, and I always do waist shaping just because I think it looks better on me. I'm not a, I don't think that necessarily box sweaters, straight edge sweaters look most flattering on me, so I always alter patterns to do waist shaping. Anyway, so I did that, but then I also did some short rows. Here comes the cat. She wanted to come back outside. So I did some short rows, and I'm not happy with the way that my short rows turn out all the time. I really have not found. I did German short rows this time, and not pleased with how, not always pleased with how my short rows turn out. I really need to work on that. I need to do some swatching with that. So I did, you know, I'm amply bosomed, so I do short rows in the chest area so that I have a little bit of extra fabric there, so that my sweaters don't are not shorter on the front than they are on the back, so they look even. So I put in about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of short rows. This side of short rows looks great. The right side looks fantastic. The left side does not look great. So I'm hoping that will come out in the blocking. So pretty excited about that. I do not have much left to go on that, and this is going to be a finished object the next time you see me. Okay, so another work in progress that is very, very much just in the beginning stages was this swatch. I think I showed you the swatch once before. This is lichen and lace, and I'm going to do a sweater that is red on the top, that is going to do some stripes across here and stripes down the sleeves. And I actually decided to go ahead and buy some more of the seagrass. So lichen and lace, so this was the original seagrass, and this is the stuff, so right, Indie Dyers, buy it all at once, because it does not come out the same way, right? So seagrass, so you can see they're both seagrass, but this color is far more green. Hope you can see how green that is. So let's just do a little comparison. The top one is the new one, and I bought 2 more skeins, and the bottom one is the older one. So this top one is far more green. I do still love it. So I'm just going to alter every other row, and it'll be fine. And I think it's going to look really pretty. So I'm anxious to get started on this. It is a really tiny, it's going to be really small needles, and can't wait to work on the sweater. Although I did see a sweater, I was watching Felicia Wong, Sweet Georgia Fibers podcast. What does she call it? Something about Fridays. I'll look it up and I'll put it up here. And she had this gorgeous, it's not really a shrug, it's kind of a shrug. She calls it a shrug, but it's sweatery. It's much more sweatery of a shrug, and I'll put the name of that pattern here, and maybe I'll find a picture of it and put it here as well. And I think I'm going to make one of those. And I'll have to get new yarn for that, or dye the yarn. I probably will dye the yarn for that. So I've got quite a bit. So now I have enough. I think I have enough. So I'll have 2 skeins of this gorgeous red color, which is not lichen and lace. This one is from Primrose, and I just love Primrose. This color is just so pretty. And I have 1, 2, 3. I have 6 skeins of seagrass color. So I'm going to be fine. I'm going to have plenty. Maybe I'll have some leftover, which is always kind of nice. I kind of like having leftover. You make a little extra project out of it, or gift it, or something. to someone. So that's a work in progress. And then I really need to start spinning because I have not been spinning for a long time, and it's almost Tour de France, and Tour de Fleece is coming up. Last year I did tons of stuff for Tour de Fleece, so I'm pretty anxious to do that again. And I've got my gorgeous Golding drop spindle, and I think I'm gonna do a little bit of spinning. This stuff, I think I told you guys about this stuff last time or some time ago, that my friend Crystal gave it to me for my birthday last year, and so I'm just adding it on there. This is, these coonies are just gorgeous. If you didn't see that episode, you can go back and watch. It'd be great if you'd go back and watch, actually. That is from Naturally Nitty, and it is made of alpaca, Falkland, merino, silk and oil, and the colors are just so cute. I'm just going to get one of each color out here. You hear Gracie? Here comes Gracie. So these are all the colors, and they have the black tip at the end. And really, it just spins so nice. Just spins so nicely. See, Gracie wants to be outside. Gracie! There's Gracie. She loves to be outside with me, and she's shedding like crazy. I'm covered with cat hair already. So I better go back in and cool down a little bit. So thanks for visiting, and hope you're having a great summer so far, and see you next time.
I want to find a butt strawberry.
There you go. Look for a butt strawberry.